Ladies, why is it important for you to find your authentic voice? What is your authentic voice? It's you, the you that you truly want to express, the you that has always been you. And we are at a time in our lives, many of us, where we're discovering that we don't even know what that voice is because we have been wearing many hats along the years, maybe in the corporate world, in our families, maybe somebody's spouse, somebody's mother, whatever positions that you have. Your identity may be in the company, it may be whoever and whatever your roles are in your household and in the community. But what do you want to say? What do you want to think and feel? Have you been expressing that true, authentic voice? And many of us are at a time in our lives when perhaps children are moving away, going off to high school, maybe going off to college. And it's a time for you to figure out, well, what do you really want now? Because you have the opportunity to make some changes. It is important to be clear with yourself. You may need to spend some time with yourself trying to figure out who you are and who you want to be. You don't have to be the same person. You are the same person, but you don't have to wear the same cap for your whole life. You maybe do one career and then you decide to do something else. Maybe you do many things. There are lots of people who have done more than one job or had more than one career. They may have switched hats. I know somebody that became a lawyer and went to law school in her 40s. And it doesn't matter when you go and what you do, as long as you find that passion, figure out what it is you really want for yourself, and then go for that thing, regardless of what your age is. The age is a number. How do you feel? What do you want? Society has told us, many of us, especially as women, what we should expect. There's this whole after 40 downhill. If you want to buy that, I know people are very vital and living very full lives in their 60s, 70s, 80s, running businesses, owning their own business and doing incredible things. So it's really about the way that you see yourself and what you want and how driven you are. And is there any passion and thing that you really desire to do that you have yet to do? So be clear about what you desire, about what you want, and don't be afraid to make that change. In my book, Speak, I talk about that. It's speak your authentic voice. Who are you? What do you want? What does that look like? What is that vision? Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to start a foundation. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to live a digital nomadic life. Maybe you want to take a sabbatical from your job. Maybe you just want to leave the corporate world altogether because you've had enough. There's a lot of travel, maybe flying, time away from home. And now is the time that you can make some choices for yourself. So in an ideal state, what does that look like for you? What do you really, really want? And take away all the objections that are going through your head right now. Well, it's too late. I'm too old. Or I've been at this house a long time. I don't know anybody else in another place. Or whoever in my family lives here, so we can't really leave now. Or this is where the kids were raised. All my friends are here. We can fill in all the space. All my friend circles are here. And then one of your friend circle picks up and moves away because maybe their husband got a job elsewhere, or they got a job, or they just decided to take a better offer on a house. And you're like thinking you're going to stay put for some other people, and they may get up and leave for whatever reason seems good to them. So you need to see what's good for you. What do you really desire? What is your belief that you can have and be for yourself? You are highly accomplished. You're whatever education you have, you've got skills, and you can use that. You can use that now, whether you're going to write a paper, publish a book, become a consultant, start your own consultancy business based on what you've been doing for decades. You're an expert already. It's not like you have to figure out something brand new. Maybe you're going to use what you already have, your expertise, to leverage your next chapter. So many of us have had, we've been through traumatic things. So maybe that's something that you use to help somebody else to come out of, because you can speak to that. Maybe you're going to talk about leaving the corporate world and starting your own business, and you can speak to that. we have a lot of things that we can speak to. Advocating for your health and what's your health journey, how you got from here, dealing with this inflammatory process to ultimate and optimal health, and what steps did you have to take? Do you have to take or see integrated medicine doctors? Did you have to see a specialist? How did you lobby for what you wanted in your health journey within the health organization that you have access to? Do you have access? Maybe that's the story there. How you got access because you didn't have it. Here in the US anyway, jobs, healthcare somehow go together. You're not just looking for a job for what you can get from it in terms of the income and what you're going to give to that job, but healthcare is tied into that. It's not the same worldwide. I mentioned US because that's a factor here. So sometimes you have a health carrier, but maybe you're not getting the things, the specialty care that you need, and how did you navigate that? And maybe now you can write a paper or an article helping somebody else to do the same thing, because it's not available necessarily for everybody. And I talk about health because your health is your wealth. If you don't have your health, you're not able to be working and doing the things you want, living a nomadic life, being on the go, and traveling and doing the things that you want to do. So your health is super vital, and you need to advocate for that. I can speak to maintaining health, optimal health, bone health, muscle strength, toning, all very important, especially for women over 40 when hormone levels are shifting. So I'm using that as an example because that's something that I can speak to, and maybe write a small book on the 10 best things that a woman can do for herself after 40 to maintain optimal health, maintain energy, sleep well, have vitality, feel good, fit in her clothes, have tone, make sure your blood pressure stays healthy and normal within normal range, or maybe cholesterol's an issue, how to maintain healthy skin, all of those things. So again, using my expertise as a registered nurse, health coach, and publisher, all of these things I can use to speak about, personal trainer, and all of these things are an example of what I can use to help others with. And so I can pick what it is I'm going to talk about and help a woman to get in her life to feel her best self. But it all goes back again to knowing what you want for yourself. Communicate clearly with those in your hemisphere as to what it is you want. And here's the other thing with those that are in your household, for instance, your family members. Oftentimes as a woman, your family, your spouse, your partner, whoever has seen you going about all the things that you always do, and they just assume that you can do it, and you're doing such a grand job that you don't mind doing it, and maybe you don't. But maybe you want to take a break. Maybe you'd like more help. Maybe you'd like contributions from the family member. You need to be clear. You need to be speaking up, not when you're annoyed and frustrated because you didn't get the help that you wanted and nobody knew that you wanted that. Sometimes they just think you enjoy doing that and you're so good at it and you don't ask for help. You just kind of put it upon yourself and you're frustrated about it, but you weren't clear in communicating what you needed help with. Help me tidy this up and sort this out is not very clear either. I would love it if, and where clear communication comes in, if you could, what is that? If you hear me coming in with the groceries and you hear me in the garage, or you hear me approaching the steps, or I give you a heads up, I text you, if you can help me bring the bags in. That's very clear. If you could help me bring the bags in when I give you a heads up that I'm there, then you don't have to be frustrated that you're lumbering with all these grocery bags and everybody just sat and watched TV or played video games or whatever they were doing, and nobody even looked up and noticed that you were doing all these things. Be clear. Be clear about what you want. You won't get what you want unless you are clear with yourself. You know what it is you want for yourself, your health, your body, your family, your friends, your job, your income, your health. And speak it out, not in a frustrated way, but speak out clearly what you desire. Write it down. What do you want for your health? What do you want for your wealth? What do you want for relationships? What does that look like? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to wake up? Where do you want to vacation? How much money do you want to make? Who do you want to have around you? What are you doing? Be clear. It's not just going to happen if you don't have any ideas. Something's going to happen, but do you want to live a life by intention or by default? Do you want to live a life by design or default? What does your life look like going forward? You might not have it all figured out now, but you probably are very clear about what you don't want. So on the flip side of that, what do you want? How do you want to feel? We have to be clear about this. We have to use our authentic voice, be true to ourselves, and be clear, and then start to move towards that in your mind first. It won't happen overnight, and some of these things that we want are not going to be a quick fix. They're just not, like anything else. It's going to take some time, but what does it take to move towards that? What can you learn about the things that you want? If you want to live in a different city, town, state, what are you going to do there? What will life be like there? Start to see these things. Start to write it down. Make a note. Be very detailed. Be very clear about what you want. That is very important. Prioritize your self-care, looking after yourself so you can feel good, so you can be in a good mood. And I'm covering a lot of different things here, but I just want you to focus on what's good for you. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It is not selfish to look out for yourself, because people aren't going to come bang on your door and say, hey, you know what? You look like you need a spa day. Hey, you know what? You look like you need a pedicure. You know what? You look like you need a wellness day, a mental health day, a day off, a vacation. These are things that you're going to have to advocate for yourself. So ladies, be clear with your voice. Use your voice. First of all, your inside voice, tell yourself what it is you want, and then be clear with others in a kind way. It's not demonstrative. Just be clear about what it is you need. If you need help in the home, on the work front, whoever your people that you report to, about time that you need off, about time between travel and returning to work, about workload, whatever it is you need. But you will have to be clear. Use your real voice. Be clear with yourself about what you want, and then work on getting those things, but be intentional. So I'll be speaking more about that because I think it's really important for women to be really clear about what they want so that they can get what they want. And don't stop dreaming. You're not just on a treadmill just going through the motions. You could be if you wanted to be, but do you think there's more? Let's explore that. We'll talk some more about that. Stay tuned.